Welcome everyone to the Horrible YouTube channel. I am Michael with you. I hope you are all well and will enjoy today's scary incident. So let's get started.
Welcome to Horrible, where nightmares comes alive.
So today's guest is Max. Max gonna tell us a story about one of his neighbors. Well, he is a good storyteller. This story could be short, but we really hope that you guys gonna love it. So stay with us until the very end.
Thank you, Michael, for inviting me to your show today. I hope you and your listeners are all doing well. Without further delay, let me dive straight into my story. So I am Max, and there's a boy named Julian who lives near my house. This story isn't really about him, but rather about an event that happened to his father. So Julian's family comes from a village in Lombard. When his father was young, probably in his late teens or early 20s, he and some of his friends went exploring around the village. While wandering, they stumbled upon an old practitioner of black magic, an occultist. This occultist seemed to wield strange and powerful abilities. Seeing this, the idea of black magic somehow appealed to him. So, for some reason, Julian's father found himself fascinated by what he saw. After 2 days later, he went back to the occultist and expressed his desire to learn this dark art. The occultist, however, warned him sternly, saying, "This is not something good or easy. You're too young to handle its consequences." Let it go. Forget about this entirely. It's not worth the price you'll have to pay. But his words fell on deaf ears. The allure of the forbidden knowledge had already taken root in Julian's father's mind. He began visiting the occultist repeatedly, pleading to be taught. Eventually, the occultist, irritated by his persistence, relented, but not without setting a chilling condition. He said, "There's a specific element I need before I can teach you. It must come from an unmarried Christian Zionist girl who died unnaturally. Suicide, or some other tragic death. Her skull, particularly the crown of her forehead, what we call the, chundi, holds a unique power essential for this craft. Bring it to me and I'll teach you everything." Julian's father, though shocked, agreed without hesitation. He asked, "But how will I find such a person?" The occultist assured him, "When the time comes, I'll let you know. I'll tell you exactly where to go." A few weeks later, the occultist sent word that a girl fitting the description had died 2 villages away. She consumed poison and was buried in the cremation grounds near her home. Tonight, you must go there alone and retrieve the skull. But remember, you cannot use the main road. There's a path that passes through the rice fields and a dense jungle. Follow that. Be cautious. If you falter or give in to fear, you won't survive the night." Despite the occultist's warnings, Julian's father, being a bold young man, agreed to the task. He went to scout the burial site during the day to ensure he could find it later. That night, while everyone in his family was asleep, he slipped out quietly, carrying only a shovel and a bag. The first part of his journey through the rice fields was uneventful. But as he entered the jungle, things took a sinister turn. A fierce wind began to howl through the trees. Shadows moved in ways they shouldn't. Stray dogs, foxes, and even cats seemed to stalk him, their glowing eyes watching him from the darkness. He pressed on, his faith in the occultist's assurances keeping him steady. Finally, he reached the cremation ground and began digging. The silence was deafening, broken only by the sound of his shovel hitting the earth. After what felt like hours, he unearthed the corpse. Steeling himself, he reached for the skull, but just as he was about to touch it, the corpse's eyes snapped open. Blood red and glowing, they bore into him with an otherworldly fury. A cold, guttural voice came from the corpse. "Why have you come here? Why do you seek to harm me? Leave now, or I will destroy you and your family." Terrified but determined, Julian's father ignored the warnings. He reminded himself of the occultist's advice, not to let fear take over. Summoning every ounce of courage, he struck the corpse, severing its head. The body convulsed violently before finally going still. He placed the skull in his bag and fled the site, his heart pounding with every step. Instead of hiding the skull behind his house as instructed, he concealed it in a secluded spot near the riverbank. He feared his family might discover it and demand answers. A couple of nights later, he returned to the occultist, who scolded him for not following instructions. "You've made a grave mistake," the occultist said. But what's done is done. Yeah, go home now and do not come back for 3 or 4 days. But Julian's father couldn't wait. 2 days later, he tried to visit the occultist again. This time, he didn't make it back home. As the evening turned into night, his family grew worried and began searching for him. They finally approached his friends, who revealed everything. Furious, his father stormed to the occultist's home, demanding answers. The occultist calmly said, "I warned him not to come, but he insisted. Don't worry, I'll take care of it." Late that night, Julian's mother stepped outside and heard faint, muffled cries from the bamboo grove behind their house. When she investigated, she found Julian's father tied up, hanging upside down, unconscious. The family called the occultist, who revived him with some rituals. When he regained consciousness, he recounted his ordeal. A sudden gust of wind had knocked him out, and he couldn't remember anything beyond that. From that day on, Julian's father never left the occultist's side. He eventually became a skilled practitioner of black magic himself, and he has become quite a popular occultist in that area. So, that was my story. Thank you for listening until the end. I hope you all liked it. And thank you, Michael, for giving me a chance to sharing my story.
Thank you so much, Max, for sharing your friend's father story with us. I also hope that audience will like it.
If you find that story interesting but forget to press the subscribe button, beware. The horrible might come in your nightmares and knock your doors for reminding you to subscribe.